Namaskar. Welcome to or back to my channel. Today we're going to do a pose that has many functions, and the things that it's helped me with on my journey has been that my body has carried some tumors in the heads of my femurs and also in the insides, in the socket, okay? So the ball and the socket of the hip. And there's been tumors that have been in both of those places, as well as other places in my pelvis that make life a little bit unstable. And the lower back can also bear the brunt of that and be in a little bit of pain. So this pose is Supta Padangusthasana A. So let's get started. You need a bolster, a blanket, a belt, and a mat, space at the wall. I'm going to use this stack of mats. I've got a couple of blocks that I've put in front of it, so I'm going to use those for my wall today. And I'm going to start by taking my mat all the way to the blocks, or the wall, if you will. I'll take the blanket onto the mat, and that's going to really be placed last, and then the belt should be unlooped. So it should be open, so not tied up at all. You're going to lie down. And you're going to start closer to the wall than you think. So you want your knees to be bent. Take your hands to your upper buttocks, tuck your upper buttocks down, lie down. So at first, you have your left foot up against the wall, just the toes climbing the wall, heel is on the floor. You're going to take your belt around your right foot, and then you're going to straighten your right leg. And notice the heel is in line with the knee, is in line with the hip. So we're not looking for you to take this beyond. And if you are here, that's okay. So don't feel like you need to force this by bending the knee. But you want to keep this alignment clear. So the leg goes straight up eventually, but at first I want you to bend it as much as you're bending the left. And I'm just going to wrap this around my hands to help my grip be easy. Once I have that, I'm going to simultaneously straighten both legs and come to a 90-degree angle with my legs. Now you notice, when I straightened my legs, I didn't lift my buttocks up at all. So I'm going to adjust this head pillow, so you may need to do that also. My arms are straight, and the belt around my foot is actually pulling traction on my shoulders. Allow that to happen in your space as well. So when we start to bend the elbows, it brings a lot of tension in the shoulders. But if we straighten the arms and allow the foot to pull on the shoulders, then those of you who suffer with neck and shoulder pain or tension, you can get a little bit of relief here. So I want you to bring your awareness to your feet and press the mound of your big toe and your inner heel into the wall with the left leg, into the air with your right leg. Tuck your chin towards your chest so you're not leaning on the back of your head, but your head is in a state of neutral. And if this is very difficult for you, I want you to bend your left knee and put your left foot on the floor. So this can bring some relief if you're having a hard time staying there. So be willing to check it out. Good, and then to come out, you're going to bend your knees, Unlasso your foot, and then walk yourself in a little bit so that you can start the same way you started on the other side. So knee is bent, lasso the foot, both knees bent. Without coming up at all, you're going to simultaneously straighten both legs so that the mat grabs your pelvis and brings your pelvis into more of a line. So the waist of your pants are even when you can drag the hip like that on the mat. So be really mindful as you go. Notice I'm just adjusting my hands on these belts so that my foot can take traction in my shoulders. And that feels so good. It feels so released, surrendered. I'm gonna back my back foot off because this really isn't about stretching the leg. It's not about stretching the hamstring. This is really about bringing balance to the lower back, bringing a little bit of space in the pelvis and the hips, and really moving the sacrum. So the sacrum, they say, doesn't move, but it's attached in women at 3 different places to the pelvis and 2 different places in men's bodies. So it has a little bit of movement, and especially when we're flexible or we've had children or we've had surgeries there's movement that comes into the pelvis, and it can catch on the sacrum, which can cause a lot of lower back pain. So when we move in this way, we're actually looking to loosen that up so that we can potentially get a release in our lower back. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. So now very slowly bend both knees, unlasso your foot, crawl in a little bit closer to the wall. Change legs. Simultaneously straighten both legs, dragging your right hip towards your left heel. Straighten your arms, let them hang. So I'm barely gripping the rope. The rope is really just wrapped around my hands. I'm just holding it, allowing it to do its work on me. And then at this point, you can close your eyes and take this practice inside just for a few moments. The breath moves through your nose, in and out your nostrils. Your lips are soft. Soften your tongue, your jaw. Good, and then to switch sides, gently open your eyes. Bend both knees, unlasso the foot. Walk your shoulders in. Right foot comes to the wall. Lasso the left. Straighten both legs at the same time. Straighten your arms, let them hang, let the foot pull. Tension, traction on your shoulders and neck. Close your eyes and go in. So when I'm doing these poses, sometimes I do the first couple of sides with my eyes open and my attention very clear and alert. And then as I continue to practice them, because you can continue to go back and forth, I start to quiet the body and quiet the mind. So first we want to make sure that we're aligned properly, and the eyes need to be open for that. But once we know we have our alignment and we're in integrity with our body, we can start to close the eyes and move more toward a meditative state in the posture. Good. Very slowly bend both knees, open your eyes, unlasso your foot. Keep the left knee bent. Roll to your right side. Come all the way up. Now grab your bolster. We're going to take Shavasana 2 to complement the Supta Padangusthasana A. And so Shavasana 2 is just elevated Shavasana, so your bolster sits behind your lowest rib all the way up and supports your head. So we'll take a blanket for the head. And then when I go to lie back, I'm going to give myself a couple of inches because I really want this bolster to hit me right at the lowest rib. And if you use your index finger, you can kind of walk down your ribs until you're at the last one. And that's where you want this bolster to hit you. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to arc my chest, lie that rib right on the bolster. Pull this blanket in so it just touches the tops of my shoulders. And then I'm going to let my legs extend together. Bring my hands down by my sides and let the legs roll out. Allow your arms to become heavy as you settle in. And it's nice to make a few adjustments when you first get in and find the spot that feels most comfortable, most relaxing to you. And then once you've found that, see if you can find stillness. Close your eyes and go in. Soften the space between your brow. Soften your temple skin, your cheekbones, your cheeks, your jaw, your lips, your earlobes. Soften. Soften the very top of your neck, allowing it to release from any holding patterns. Soften the middle neck. Do the same. Look for the areas that grip or hold your head in a certain position but is not of surrender, and see if you can surrender those areas and allow the back of your head to get heavy so that you're not pressing the head, but that you're fully resting. Soften your shoulders, your forearms, your wrists. Let your upper arms get heavy. Allow the knuckles behind your fingers to move or begin to move towards the floor. Check in with your neck again. Let it go. Allow your abdomen and organs to cascade over the bolster to find space. Let your thigh bones be heavy. Let your knees be light and your calves be heavy as well. Heels heavy but not pressing, weighted with gravity. Toes soft. And as you stay here, imagine that there's a seed in your heart. Picture it. Picture that seed in the center of your heart. And visualize this practice as water for that seed. That every time you visit your practices, you're watering that seed in your heart that will allow your heart to bloom. And the more you water that seed, the bigger the heart blooms. Imagine the flower. What does it look like? What color is it? Is it bursting out of your heart, or is it just getting started, just sprouting through? Or is it beyond your body? Feel the openness of the chest as you breathe into your lungs. Soften the back of your neck again. And know that when you feel challenged on this journey, that sometimes the best gift can be watering your seed. Take your hands to your ribs or your belly. Bend your left knee. Roll to your right side, being aware that you're up on this bolster. Roll to your side. Continue rolling. Press yourself up. Take a simple cross-legged seat on top of your bolster. Place your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes, bring your hands to your heart. Giving gratitude and praise to this practice and all that it provides us, all the gifts that live inside of this practice and us. Namaskar. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that this small sequence helps your back and your mind and your heart. And I'll see you next week. Have a beautiful day.